Damn, that show is good. Hey everyone, my name is Americ from HappyCool and welcome to a brand new review for Gotham Episode 1 titled Pilot. If you are new here, welcome. Good to see you. Let me just give you a little breakdown of how I typically do reviews. First, I'm going to talk about the story of the episode ever so briefly. Then I'm going to tell you what worked, and then I'm going to go into what didn't work in this episode, and then I'm going to conclude with my final thoughts and open it up to you guys, for you guys to tell me what you thought of this episode. That's it. This is all you need to know. Now, before I start this review, there are two things that I think you should know about me before we start this show. One, the primary reason why I am reviewing this show is because the series creator, Bruno Heller, is also the series creator of one of my favorite shows on TV, aka The Mentalist. Number two, as much as I like comic books, I read comic books, but I'm not a comic book expert. So there are some things that I just won't know about the show. So if you're expecting someone to review the show based on being some comic book expert, no. I know about Batman, I've seen the movies, I've read some of the comic books, I know some of the lore, but that's pretty much it. Fundamentally, I'm gonna review this show like any other TV show, based on the episode, based on the storylines, and based on the acting. So that's what it's gonna be. Now with that said, let's jump right into it. So as I said, before I delve into what worked and what didn't work, let's talk about the story. Gotham tells the tale of one cop in a city full of criminals. This one cop is Jim Gordon, played by the awesome Ben McKenzie, and the story essentially starts right at the beginning of the Batman saga, i.e. when his parents get killed, and we essentially get introduced to some of the future villains in the Batman universe, and some new ones as well. So that's pretty much the story of this episode, kind of setting things up. With that said, what worked? You know, you can't have a superhero themed story without some solid villains, right? And I gotta say, the villains, oh, the villains are good. I have to give props to setting up some really interesting characters that hopefully will introduce us to some really fascinating storylines. I particularly like the Penguin character, aka Oswald Cobblepot. I think that that actor is doing a brilliant job with that character, and I just can't wait to see more of him. And although we saw just a smidge, just a second of the future Riddler, aka Edward Nygma, I was like, I want to see more. I want to see more of you. That's some interesting stuff. Really good stuff. And of course, future Catwoman, Selina Kyle, played by newcomer Cameron I'm gonna butcher her name. Give me a second. Cameron Bicondova. I hope I'm saying her name right. Cameron's got some real potential. She's only 15, guys, and she's got presence like you cannot believe. I'm really looking forward to the legit encounter between Selina and Bruce when, you know, that really happens. So it's kind of interesting to see. I'm just like, oh, the villains look good. The villains look good, y'all. They look awesome. Let's talk about the heroes. Jim Gordon. I was pleasantly surprised how they decided to portray Jim Gordon. I was afraid that he was going to be too goody two-shoes, but really it's a Jim that's good, but fundamentally smart, right? And I think that the intelligence and the intensity that Ben McKenzie brings to that character really comes across very easily, and it makes what he does very believable, because she starts out the episode and he's like, yeah, I'm like a Boy Scout, but at the end you can see him bend, but not really bend, you know, bend his morals just this much, but not too much. And I think that was interesting. It was an interesting evolution in episode 1. So I cannot wait to see how that character evolves throughout the season. So, Jim Gordon, way to go. This being a Batman-related storyline, what about Bruce Wayne? I gotta say, the kid that plays Bruce Wayne is like, is good. I mean good. I mean talented. You can tell that you know how to act. You're pretty good. Why am I talking like this? And the thing I really liked about Bruce Wayne is his relationship with Alfred. Usually, I find the relationship between Alfred and Bruce to be really one-sided, with Bruce doing whatever he wants and Alfred just sort of like picking up the pieces as they go along. But really, this one felt more of like a mentor-mentee relationship, with Alfred setting the tone and Bruce sort of following along that. Not quite what I was expecting from a Bruce and Alfred relationship, but hey, interesting. Definitely makes me want to see more, so good for y'all. But beyond the heroes and the villains, the thing that I think really worked in this episode is the really good balance that they struck between darkness and humor. Because, I mean, if you take a storyline like this, you can just say, we're gonna go full on gritty, no jokes, no laughter, no nothing, and we're just gonna make it dark, depressing, Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? Or you could have made it really campy and a little bit too campy, and I think a lot of people would have been like, that's not the Batman I'm used to. So I find the fact that they decided to sort of add a lot of darkness, because, I mean, none of that stuff was light at all, but also some humor and some banter and some really witty, quick moments that sometimes make you laugh out loud, sometimes make you chuckle. But I feel that the fact that they even had those moments at all was what really made this show special. It's special in that way because it has that right balance. Now, whether they keep up with that balance throughout, I'm fairly positive that they can, because I know Bruno Heller can absolutely do darkness and humor very well. Now that we talked about the main things that worked, let's talk about what didn't work. You guys know what I'm gonna say, right? You know what I'm gonna say. Like, let's think about one of the main characters that I haven't really discussed so much right now, that I'm not really a big fan of. You guessed it, Fish Mooney. Ooh, I'm not a fan. I have to say, not a fan. I don't think the character is bad per se. I actually like Jada Pinkett Smith. I think she's a great actress. I think she can deliver a strong performance. But the character is just a caricature. It's too much of a caricature. It's to the point where I'm like, you're just evil for the sake of being evil, but you're not really interesting in your evilness. I don't know. Does that make sense, right? Like, it's just not, it's not interesting. It's not developed. I don't really feel like there's substance yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. I'm looking forward to seeing substance, because if this is it, if this is the establishment, if this is the setup and there's not more behind that, I'm not gonna be a fan. Not at all. I mean, it's not horrible, but definitely not worthy to be amongst a primary villain level character. Just not, no. I don't see it. I mean, if you guys see it, just let me know, but personally, not a fan. Speaking of characters, some of the other secondary characters are kind of worrying me. I'm talking primarily about future Mrs. Gordon, Barbara. Right now, I think they're fiancé or something like that. And I was like, I'm really feeling that they're just gonna inject some storylines with her for the sake of that, which is, you know, hence that whole like lesbian subplot thing. I feel, I don't know, maybe I'm overreading this, but I just felt like, really? Is that gonna be like a big thing? She used to have a lesbian relationship. What will Jim think? I don't know, he'll be fine with it. If anything, he'd be cool with it. So I don't really see where these secondary storyline characters things are gonna really fit within this universe. I hope there's a reason for them. I hope that they're gonna develop into something else, but I don't want them to just be there for the sake of being there, because honestly, they're just gonna be filler. And if you guys know me, there's something I do not like. I don't like filler. I really don't like filler. I mean, it's a problem. Filler and I are not friends. So hopefully it's not gonna be a big deal, but it's a worry, and I really felt that some of the storylines in this episode just were not interesting. Barbara and her former lesbian lover is just one of them. So my final thoughts, What did I think of this episode? I am a fan. I thought it was awesome and I can't wait to see more. It's just got everything, people. It's got the right stuff. It's got the right stuff to be a great show and I can't wait. I cannot wait to see more. The other thing I can't wait to see are your comments. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Comment below. Let me know. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Go on. Just hit it. Just hit it. Just hit it. Just hit it! Or I'll send Fish Mooney after you. And if you're new and you want to see more of these reviews, make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.